Ready under lights, under action, under camera!
You forgot the fan in the chamber!
Let's go, bub. Rookie.
Don't you know who I am? I'm the Juggernaut, bitch!
Nothing moves the blob. Let's go, bub.
Foo Fighters in my head.
All right. Well, fooey to you too. So we are back and live once again, And I have already unmuted my mic. Haha, no trickery or tomfoolery here. So we are down a couple people. One is traveling, one is sick. So we wish them well. Of course, we have Shelly in the chat with us right now, kind of watching. So she is still sort of with us.
In spirit.
In spirit.
Yep.
Feel better.
Okay, and so recap. Last we left off, everybody was trying to figure out their next steps when they were quickly surprised by a sentient computer.
Mainframe.
Yep, mainframe. Dun dun dun. So it has been a couple days since then. At this point, Ixion right now is currently working on some robotics. He's a little obsessed about trying to get a better handle on the the nanotechnology he's been trying to work on. That I was looking for the word. And Shone right now is currently out and about doing Shone things once again, as she is prone to do. You've quickly gathered that she likes to shop, so that is probably what she's doing, or the hope anyways. She can be prone to a 5-finger discount since she can teleport most everywhere. I know, shake heads, face palms. So we will pick up with Brittany. And Brittany, you are currently in your apartment at this point. When you hear a door slam and the locks quickly start getting thrown.
The front door?
Yeah.
I guess I'll go out there and see what's happening in the front room.
Okay. So Michelle is walking away from the door hastily at this point. A little winded, partially out of her uniform. For the Quickie Mart, like the shirt would she normally tucks it in. It's like partly out, and the collar's kind of up. Her hair is a little disheveled, sort of thing, or black hair.
Everything okay?
Oh! Shoot! Sorry, I didn't know you were here. I thought you were like out doing whatever it is that you seem to be doing lately. And she's like taking deep breaths at this point. I was just trying to get back to the apartment. There was stuff on the street.
What kind of stuff?
The anti-neighborhood kind of stuff.
I don't follow.
You know, Fairside and whatnot, the protesters. They're at the bridge, and I just thought I'd, run by it, as quickly as I could. I didn't want to get too close.
Well, that is wise. They're going to be a problem, then. I mean, are they often there?
They have been, yeah. But they're a little bit more frequently now.
Wonder if there's anything we can do about that. Someone we can talk to.
I would normally say the police, but yeah.
Well, are you okay?
I'm out of breath. And like I desperately want to drink. But no, I'm okay. How are you?
Good. New job is panning out well. Sorry, I haven't been home a whole lot.
And you've got all kinds of weird hours.
Oh, research doesn't sleep.
But do you have a bed there? Because I like rarely ever hear you come back.
Well, I mean, not technically, but
You're not like gonna leave me like hanging out to dry because I can't like afford this place on my own.
no.
Okay.
No. How's Lorraine and the Quickie Mart?
Fine. I guess. It's not quite as busy as it normally is, but I think it's probably because there's not, many people in the old neighborhood anymore.
How's the crime rate over there? How have you been held up any less?
Oh, well, yeah, I guess that kind of comes with the, not having, as many customers, I guess. But no, I haven't been held up. I guess that's a big deal. I mean, I've had some shoplifters, but that's, but you can only do so much about that.
Sounds
And I
promising.
got pelted with multivitamins at one point because I carded somebody, but, it's a thing, I guess.
Okay. Well, good. Good. Well,
Do you have plans again today?
um, not specifically.
Oh, okay.
I might go into the office later and check on some things.
Oh, well, I mean, if you were going to be around like later tonight, I was thinking about ordering pizza.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that sounds great.
Domino's is running one of those like avoid the noid sort of things, like the specialty. So I figured I'd tap into that.
Yeah, I can throw a few bucks in for pizza.
Okay, cool.
Justin's having a blast from the past there.
Yes.
That is such an old reference.
Totally forgotten about that. Yes.
I never forgot about it because the Yoid Noid game was so garbage it just stuck in my brain.
Think you broke him.
In character.
Oh, he's the one wearing the classic PlayStation shirt.
Yeah.
I am.
Same era.
Yeah. Good point.
I'm good. I'm good. I'm good. No, I'm good. I'm good.
Hey, you haven't seen Sledge lately, have you? Does he still come into the shop?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, no, I see him. I mean, he comes around. I guess he's not quite as busy since the neighborhood doesn't have as many people in it or whatnot. But yeah, I mean, he's still going around. I think he goes around more downtown though.
Downtown?
Uh-huh.
Interesting.
Still, I mean, he's still busting heads.
Good. So,
I don't know why. Did you like know him?
I mean, he just came into the shop pretty frequently,
Oh,
and since I mean, I don't really see him anymore since, you know, haven't been there.
oh, I mean,
Be right back.
I just kind of assumed that you were, a deviant too, because the neighborhood.
Well, isn't everyone these days?
Okay, well, I mean, yeah, I am. I didn't think it was that big of a deal, but okay.
Did you did you want to talk about that?
Well, I mean, you kind of already knew that I was.
Yeah, we never really talked about what you can do?
It's kind of gross. That's why I don't really bring it up.
It's gross? Okay, now I'm really curious.
Oh. Okay. So she kind of hunchers over a little bit, and kind of gets almost like into a ball. She's wearing short sleeve shirts because they wear the like AM PM esh polo sort of thing from that time frame. And you start to hear flesh starting to tear, like that slow kind of sort of thing, and you start to see that she's pushing bones out from her elbow.
It's very interesting.
Yeah, like I said, gross.
So she's changing shape?
No, she's pushing bone out her elbows.
Oh, so just like like they could be used as weapons kind of a thing?
Yeah, I mean they're kind of coming out. They're like
Is it just elbows?
well, right now she's just doing elbows.
Oh, okay. Huh. Have you done any sort of testing or training to figure out what you could do with that?
No.
Did you ever want to?
I was usually on drugs, so that never really kind of came up.
Suppose that's valid. Um, oh, maybe we can help you expand on that. Maybe
Who's we?
you and I,
Oh,
as meant.
oh. Well, I didn't know. I mean, I don't have like a costume. I don't do anything like that. I mean, there's like lots of other people, and I figured, I'd probably just get beaten up for being what I am, anyways.
Well, maybe someday soon we'll have a world where we're not treated that way.
So, what do you do?
Um, I will make an illusion to look like her.
Okay, so she's just like, whoa. Now, see, why didn't I get something like that?
Oh,
Do you have any idea how I figured this out?
how did you figure it out?
I went to the doctor
And you said something's wrong with me?
because I had a broken arm.
Oh, yeah?
And I ejected the bone.
Do
So,
you
can you imagine how many nurses lost their lunch?
It would have been interesting to see that. I mean, not that specifically, but interest. Do you grow them back?
Well, yeah, I mean, they don't like just hang out.
Could
And
you
she
could you
she kind of like starts pulling it out to an extent, and it comes out, and the hole kind of just like closes.
wonder if you could, like, I don't know, use them for projectiles or something? Can you change the shape of the bones?
No, I mean, she's just I produce moist bones. She like hands one to you.
Um, it's gonna sound kind of weird, but uh, can I keep this?
Uh,
Do you need it? Do you want it?
well, no,
Mine?
I don't need it, but
I'm just really curious. I
you're
bet
not
I.
like I'm not like rooming with some sort of evil super scientist, am I?
Okay, now that's a little ridiculous, but I went to school for science, right?
No.
I work in a lab. I have an interest in, deviant related projects.
But you worked at the Quickie Mart? How did that
Okay,
jump happen?
long story short, I was outed at my job, uh,
Oh,
and forced to relocate.
gotcha.
Quickie Mart was
Okay.
just the kind of work I could get.
I no, I understand.
Now I'm in a better place that doesn't care who my parents were.
Oh, well, that's cool.
So, um, anyway, yeah, I have some freedom to work on various projects, and I think it would be really interesting to take this into the lab. Is all.
Okay, well, if I start seeing evil clones of me, I'm going to hold you accountable. Weirder stuff has happened.
Weirder than that.
Well, not of me, but I mean,
All right. Yeah. All right. Uh, you can definitely hold me to that.
okay. So pizza later then?
Okay.
So she like takes the other bone and just like tosses it in the trash.
Um. Okay. Then I'm gonna go back in my room and look at this bone.
Okay. You're like the
Stick
bone
it in
of
my
scone.
It's a bone.
Yeah. But the interesting thing about it, outside of the fact, it is a bone, it's clearly not like attached to anything that would be on the body. Like it just kind of generated like a lengthwise, not quite fully straight shaft, but a bone. I mean, I guess in a pinch you could probably use it for, a replacement bone someplace in the body, but it doesn't look like a femur or a patella or any sort of other bone you might find in the body.
It's like a generic bone.
Yeah.
Hmm.
But it doesn't look like somebody would fashion it like, bone, weapons or whatnot, like they would, wear it down into, like a blade or something. It looks like it was an authentic bone. It just doesn't go anywhere for some reason.
That's pretty weird. Okay. Well, I'll tuck that away and bring it to the vein leader.
Okay. All right. Hyperion.
Yep.
So you get a call at this point.
All right. Pick it up.
And it is from Detective Bryson Smith. I'm looking to speak to Mr. Onette.
This is Mark Annette. How can I
Oh,
help you, detective?
hello, Mr. Onette. I was following up with you in regards to the break-in at your offices. I was wondering if you had a moment to speak.
I do. What have you found so far?
Well, not a lot. We did, however, discover that some of the some of the businesses that you have your company has done business with, have also been targeted by this Dr. October individual. We did manage to find that you have done some business with Alpine Technologies. You have also done business with the name of the medical company is, I'm drawing a blank on. Hold on one second. Where did I put it in my notes? It had to have been down here. No. There we go. Health Systems Incorporated. And then another one was Shadestone Incorporated. Outside of that, we're unclear as to what the links are, but it looks like he has hit several other companies that you have done business with. So have you recently had any sort of like layoffs or potentially disgruntled employees who might have had access to this list or knowledge of these other companies?
And according to like my knowledge of what's going on, like has anybody reported any of that to me
Uh,
at Quantum Unlimited?
the only layoffs that you've had are people who stayed in California when you made the move.
Okay,
So other than that, you have a few people who made the move over, and then obviously a bunch of new hires.
gotcha. As far as laying off, uh, our company did move its headquarters from California to Strongford. We weren't able to bring everybody here. Uh, Many executives were able to, and we needed to rehire in order to bulk up our staff, as it were. But to my knowledge, none were overly disgruntled by the news. When it comes to these other businesses that have been targeted, uh, were anything, or was it similar to what happened at Quantum Unlimited, where they simply took information?
No, each of the attacks have been different. Looks like one of the attacks was on a convoy that was going or leaving Strongford. So it looks like some medical technology may have disappeared. And then those have been similar. Yours has been the only one that has been any sort of like shipping manifest or tracking reports of that nature. So that was the only other thing that stood out about the theft.
I see. Interesting. Have you found any pattern with regard to any physical objects that he's stolen, or does it seem to be simply random technology?
We our brain trust hasn't been able to make the link as of yet.
If you're needing any additional information sifting data and you're willing to put trust in my company, we may be able to sift through said data perhaps a little faster. We have been known to come up with solutions for other companies. That is what our previous business model was, after all.
All right, I'll talk with the chief and we'll get back with you and see if that's something we're able to hand off.
Excellent. Was there anything else you needed to ask me, Detective?
No, not at all. Did you have anything for us? Anything else that may have popped up or any other concerns?
At the moment, no. As far as I can tell, nothing seemed to have been taken from Quantum Unlimited other than the information. We're simply working on sure that we recover from that as best as we can. But if anything comes up, I'll be sure to let you know right away.
Well, very well. All right. So with that, he hangs up. Justin.
Yes, sir.
So you wake up. You've got a bit of a headache. Your dream that you had, because you're currently at the vein, the dream that you had upon or after waking up had something to do with the ocean. You're not entirely sure why. Maybe you just miss it. The open waves and whatnot, the saltwater breeze. But you had you had a vision of a wreath like crown for some reason.
I am Aquaman. Okay, sorry. Do I have the pearl on me, or is the pearl in that fish tank?
No, pearls in the fish tank.
Okay.
To communicate.
Do I remember if I found the? Did it feel like the Pacific or Atlantic?
Hard to say because the dream right now is still a little bit of a blur.
Can I do an intuition to see what type of coral it was?
Yeah, I'll give you that.
41 on my intuition is 50, so that is going to be. Sorry, remarkable 30. Sorry, I looked at different lines. So remarkable 30.
That's fine.
41 is going to be green.
So, good question. Based on the coral and the patterns, you would have to think Pacific.
Okay, yeah.
But again, it's still very vague. It's there's
Do I-
not a whole lot to it that you can derive beyond that.
Do I remember where I found the pearl? Pacific or Atlantic?
Yeah, it was in the
Or
Pacific.
was it?
Mhm.
And I know we had plans for me to go up to DC to look for additional information on the break-ins with October, right?
I believe you guys were actually going there to try and work something out for the alien technology.
That's right.
Yeah.
All
Because you had
Yeah.
plans
And Quantum
for
Unlimited
something
was
else.
yeah.
right. He's going to do a real quick morning exercise.
Okay.
Because it's still a part of his morning ritual.
Sure.
Um,
You are currently the only one right now in the vein. Ixion is there, but he's like buried in his work right now.
Well, there's always the obstacle course.
Yeah, that's fine. And then as you are right in the middle of your workout, you hear bellowing from the main room, "Attention! Syntax error. You have a call. Attention! Syntax error. You have a call."
He'll stop flying around in circles and he'll walk over. Pick up the phone. Hello?
Hi. Am I speaking to a member of the Legacy?
Angler speaking.
Angler. Oh, great. Hi, I'm a technician with the Aegis Foundation. I believe someone there made a call in for some sort of information on the Eastern European states.
Yeah, we were looking for power outages that may or may not have occurred on from a couple weeks ago.
So it's taken us a little bit of digging, but we did manage to find something. Looks like Latvia reported some issues.
Okay, is Doctor Doom a real person in this universe?
No.
Okay. Because I ain't messing with no Doom.
Yeah, no.
You said Latvia? And I'm guessing something happened with their power grid where something happened like a brownout or a blackout, right? Or do we not know?
That is correct, yes.
Okay.
Was that something you were looking for?
Absolutely. It's exactly what we're looking for. It narrows down our possibilities of where someone might be trying to use high energy technologies from.
Oh, all right. Well, that's all we have. Information is still kind of sparse from the area, but that's what we have. There was apparently a brownout reported around Precool. I know I'm probably butchering the name in real life, but is what it is.
Pretty cool. Is that like when right before you go to high school?
Oh, sorry. That was a joke. Sure.
Thank you.
Sorry.
We really appreciate it.
I was actually referring to a town.
Yeah, I figured. Just trying to put a smile on your guys' faces. You guys do a lot of really hard work, and I want you to smile occasionally.
Oh. Well, thanks. Appreciated. If there was anything else that we can do for you, just let us know, I guess.
Nope, that's what we needed. Thank you so much.
All right, so he hangs up.
Angler to the Legacy, we have information.
Hyperion here. What information have you received?
Let's do this in person, not over communication channels.
Understood. We'll be at the vein shortly.
Wait.
Go ahead.
On my way.
As the paranoia creeps back in after trying to make someone smile.
So
Immediately.
I'll tell Michelle that I'm not sure how long I'll be back, or how long I'll be gone, and that I'm heading into the office.
Okay. I'll wait to order. Then I mean, there's still plenty of time, but I'll wait till the evening.
Okay. I'll give her $10 or whatever.
Okay.
So she's not left in the lurch.
Sure. That'll work.
And I'll head over.
Okay.
A little bit more than just putting 5 on it, right? Swing and a miss.
Nope.
I saw you trying not to laugh there.
So within a few moments, everybody else, you drive wherever and park in the designated covered spot to remain hidden and take the main entrance, which is basically the back entrance in, and the elevator back up into the bulk of the vein. So now that you're on the inside, Angler, you hear the computer announce designate 01 Hyperion, designate 02 Lightbringer, as they come entering from the elevator.
Lavatia. Place called Percruel. There was a brownout. The day this all that shield got attacked.
Interesting. So then we know that the nuclear power is in that area.
We at least have an idea of where it could be. But even narrowing it down to a general facility, a general area is more helpful than not knowing at all.
Mainframe. Can you cross-reference known super-powered beings in Latvia?
Working. And it processes. It says pulling from database from super user Electrum, only known superhero from that region. The people's might, now going by the Republic's might. Active within the United Nations superhero group.
Known power base? Or power, what's the word? Known powers.
Superhuman might and resilience.
What are your thoughts, Lightbringer?
Well, we have to narrow it down somehow to connect the dots, so to speak. That seems like a dead end to me, but maybe that's just the facility, or maybe somebody has moved into the area who is just too recent for our database.
Let's see if we have any more recent information. Mainframe, are you able to bring up an image of Latvia and the surrounding countries on the main screen?
Yep. So it puts it right up there on on the map. It's an updated version of Sierra Maps.
All the references, my dude.
Yeah.
Next thing you're gonna do is reference Webcrawler and Mr. Jeeves.
Yep. Ask Jeeves.
Oh no.
Jeeves,
Oh god.
from the time before Google.
Yep.
Yeah.
But yeah, you see that Estonia, Latvia, and Lithuania all kind of border the Balkan states, and right on the other side of them is New Prussia.
Okay. Would I know?
If you pull up an actual map, if you Google it and pull up an actual map, you'll see exactly what I'm talking about. It's all kind of in that area. The quote unquote Kaliningrad is what it's called right now on the map, but that's the exact same location as New Prussia. So that'll give you a visual of roughly how close that is.
Okay. With that information, would I be able to know offhand or just internally calculate for a typical nuclear power plant, what the range would have to be of it for there to be a brownout in Latvia? To get a radius of where it would be.
Give me you don't really have any talents for it, but give me a reason check.
Okay.
To kind of work that thought process through.
No, definitely not one.
All right.
My dear.
Lightbringer, would you like to take a stab at that?
Yeah. I will roll for that.
Okay. That's still kind of sort of in your wheelhouse.
12.
Woohoo! Look at this.
Oh, you know what? Let's since I'm
just because it's also 90s, neither of you guys had your V8 today.
Yeah, stand.
Yep, so you're standing sideways.
I still have a remarkable reason. Can I take a shot at the dark at this?
Sure.
What do I need for that power stone?
93.
Okay.
Woohoo.
For your power stunt, you need a red result.
Yes, but on what column?
You were attempting to do what again? Was it adding sound to your
illusions?
To illusions. So that was. Hold on one second. Let me pull up your character sheet.
Do I do that on the power rating for my power?
Yes.
Let's see. I rolled 73, so nope, yellow. Dang it. Okay.
Did you spend karma for that?
No, it's the initial roll still.
Oh, yeah, you can't spend it for the initial roll. Yeah.
Oh, no.
So basically, you're having to spend 100 karma to make the initial roll. Which, if you don't make it for whatever reason, it gets refunded right back to you. So it's not like you're spending it. You just have to ante it up. So when you first make that roll, you've got to spend that 100.
I mean, I have that available, but
gotcha. Okay, no problem.
Until I actually make the roll, then it's kind of moot.
Sure. Okay. So Justin,
Sir.
It's way out of your wheelhouse, but speaking militarily, kind of coming at it from that angle, you're like, okay, well, It would make sense that those Eastern Bloc states, having just been released from the Soviet Union, would not have necessarily independent power grids strong enough. And Kaliningrad was a place that had been severely beefed up for the USSR. In reality, they base a good chunk of their navy there because of its strategic importance. So with it being taken away, there was a good chunk of might that kind of got taken away from the USSR. So if they happen to have been connected into the same grid as Kaliningrad, aka New Prussia now, it's entirely possible that that could have happened.
I will explain this in the way that you did to me to everyone else.
Alrighty, that works. So blah.
Yeah.
Blah.
Blah 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 blah. Military might makes right. Blah 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 blah.
That makes a lot of sense.
Blah
So,
blah blah blah.
so now what do we do about
That's
it?
more. Well, that's additional evidence that would indicate that indeed New Prussia, and more specifically Reich and his cronies, are using teleportation technology, and that it's originating from New Prussia. This is an issue.
I don't like how much range this power seems to have.
Yeah.
The ability to appear virtually anywhere in an instant could be dangerous for the world currently. That could be easily weaponized by anyone who would want to do ill will to a country anywhere on Earth.
Mm-hmm.
And with nuclear power available, and with boosted power possibly from Ixion's vessel, they could seemingly accomplish that at any point in time.
Right.
Hopefully, they don't decide to transport nuclear weapons using this technology.
I don't think nukes would be there in their wheelhouse, though.
A little too pedestrian.
In part, but more specifically, why destroy the world we're living on when all you have to do is send someone like Black out there? Or send someone like any type of villain, to be honest. You reduce the collateral damage, you keep the general infrastructure the same, and you don't have to worry about having to completely rebuild a country after you're done with it. You keep people in line and they'll rebuild themselves and they'll be obedient.
True. With that said, then, the ability of any supervillain being able to move anywhere in an instant is, in its own right, then, quite possibly more dangerous, especially if that individual is Reichshield, which we've already known he is more than capable of using the technology. He's already murdered American citizens on national TV.
So that's the real danger. Since we already have me planning on going towards DC, I did try to schedule a meeting with my other triplets, the other two of my triplet group, and I'll see if I can't get any information out of them while I'm there. They may have some information.
Character, wouldn't his brothers also be legacy blood?
Maybe.
Originally, when the group was put together, he was asked not to reveal such information to them at the time.
Unless there's some difference. I mean, are they identical triplets?
I didn't think if they were identical. Well, no, they wouldn't be able to be because it was 2 males and a female.
Oh. Did not realize you had a sister.
Mhm.
I mean, a different sister. I mean, a triplet sister.
I knew what you meant.
Interesting. Interesting.
If you think I'm mean for the way that I train or the way that I ask that we work on ourselves, you have not met those two yet.
Oh, I know. I don't have a problem with it, especially given your military background. It seems logical to me.
But yeah, they still enjoy that lifestyle whilst I do not.
Hmm. Well,
But I'll sit down with them and see if they've done anything out there that may or may not have some type of impact with the Eastern Bloc.
good to know.
The Soviets just can't be trusted. Wolverines.
That was 80s, but close enough.
It still works.
Sure, yeah.
The 90s still had a lot of problems with the anti-Soviet Union stuff.
Yep.
And anti-Russia, so
Well, I'm more worried about the new Prussians than about the Soviets, frankly.
no, I think I'll be able to get some information. I just don't know how much I'll be able to get out of them right away.
Of course.
I still have my top secret clearance. So you won't hear me talking about a lot of the stuff I did. So if there is things that I do not need to know, they will not say it no matter what.
It may be necessary for all of us to travel to DC to we can do regarding the Ladurian artifact, the DC Museum. If my company has been able to communicate with them as of yet. Mainframe, place a call to Quantum Unlimited, please.
Dialing. Then you hear the it's on speakerphone right now. Bring. Then it picks up.
This is. I need to reach our research.
You're kind of breaking up there, Dale.
Oh, can you hear me now?
It's
Hyperion, you're lagging.
It's just a little in and out.
Am I?
You sound kind of robotic.
Robotnik.
Oh. Let's see.
Which is
Did
the
that
first
change
because
anything?
usually you have a really strong signal.
Yeah. Huh. Here, let me. If I drop out and then pop back in, would that mess things up for the stream?
It would, but if you're coming back in, it'll line right back up.
Okay. Let me try that real quick.
Yeah, no problem.
Okay.
So I wonder why Freddy is part of Legacy, but not his siblings.
Could be as simple as that they're still in the military and he's not.
Is that any better?
Well, keep talking and we'll find out.
Okay.
Don't worry, I just turned you off and turned you back on again, solved the problem.
Good. Power cycle.
Exactly.
It seems to be okay right now. I guess we'll
Okay.
just have to go with it.
Okay. So this is Mark Annette trying to reach the research and development department, please.
Hold one moment, please. Na 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 na. Then picks up.
Hello, this is Mark Annette trying to determine if we have any updates with our communication with the Washington, D.C. Museum regarding the artifact they have there.
Oh, hi, boss. Yeah. So, we obviously couldn't get into too many details. That would seem kind of weird on the phone. However, we do have an appointment for tomorrow at looks like 8 a.m.
Excellent.
Look at little girl.
All right. Are there any specific individuals?
Sorry, you're kind of breaking up there again, Dale. You actually kind of froze. Oh, get.
Oh.
Come on, hop down.
No.
Sorry, baby. You gotta stay down.
Okay. Is everything going through okay now? Can you hear me?
You seem to be better now again.
Yeah, just
Okay.
repeat it.
Yeah, I'm not sure what it is. Do we have the names of the individuals I'll be speaking with at the museum?
Yes. You'll be speaking with a Sharon Wilson.
Excellent. All right. Thank you very much. That's all I've needed.
Okay, so he hangs up.
Excellent. Well, I will at least be heading there along with Freddie. Carmen, will you be joining?
Sure, if you can use me. Happy to come.
Absolutely. Good. Then, in the meantime, since we're here, were there any other items to discuss before we head out tomorrow morning, or shall we train?
I'm gonna finish my training. I only got about halfway through it before the robot decided to interrupt us.
Well, I had a conversation with my roommate, found out what her deviancy is. I produce a bone from my jacket. uh, she she can expel bones from her body. I just thought it was really interesting. I wanted to look at it with some of our equipment.
That could be extremely useful in the medical field, especially for anyone with degenerative bone disorders.
It could be.
How quickly was she able to create that?
it just took a couple of minutes, and it didn't seem. I mean, it seemed a little awkward, but not really painful. Um, so, oh, anyway, not really
We
relevant
may
or working on, but I thought it was interesting.
we may want to offer her a position as a power consultant at Quantum Unlimited.
Oh, really?
The more individuals we're able to actually hire on as consultancies for their powers, the more information we'll be able to derive from them so that we can understand how possibly to deal with powers for future heroes and villains alike.
Well, I'm sure she would be happy to get a paycheck for something she's already doing.
Excellent. The next time you see her, definitely have her contact our department.
I will do
Should be
that.
able to offer her that position.
I will definitely let her know.
I'm no biologist, but you may want to make sure she eats a little bit extra. Producing bone like that must take a lot of calories to do.
You know, that might
If
explain part of the reason that she's so skinny, frankly. But considering I pulled her off the street and all that entails, I'm sure that's only part of it. But she's done a lot better taking care of herself since I intervened. So we'll just add that to the list. Make sure she's uh, watching her nutritional um, intake.
you could probably be really subtle with it. This was something that happened during the experiments back when I was much younger. When these began to grow in,
Hmm.
they tripled the amount of food I ate.
Good to know.
And now I still eat about 2,000 calories more than anyone else around.
Maybe we'll keep a little more dairy stocked in the fridge.
With that said, Lightbringer, have you ever found that you consume extra calories after you use your powers, no matter what they are?
I never noticed.
That has been something I've been wondering for some time. The way that those who are empowered are able to derive their metabolic energy to accomplish impressive feats, such as emitting beams of energy. Typically, that would take a source, but human beings are simply able to do it themselves with minimal amounts of extra energy. That's something we may be able to understand the more empowered we're able to test.
I think in my case, it would be interesting to compare perhaps uh, sunlight makes a difference. I'll have to do some tests on that.
Well,
Theoretically,
since
taking in energy and expounding similar energy.
I just mentioned that because that's a physical change in her body. And the best way to describe it is whenever your body has such radical changes to it, you want to eat more.
Hmm.
Um, but that's only an assumption based off of my own personal things that I've gone through and I've dealt with.
It would make sense. The additional material she generates must come from somewhere.
I'll have to ask her about it. See if she's noticed something.
All right, I'm gonna fly the course some more, And then he just kind of walks off and starts flying around in circles more.
Okay. Rockets himself up into the air and heads off onto the course.
It's
So is everybody else going to take a moment to train then? Is that
Yeah,
what's going
might
on?
as well.
Okay.
yeah, definitely.
And at some point before he's done with his morning routine, he is going to try and do the shield again.
Okay.
Taking the plasma and manipulating it.
Okay. Go ahead and roll.
Come on! You gave me a 93 earlier. 17.
So you project a bolt of plasma at this point in your favorite spot in the wall that you usually test yourself against, and
Yep, walking away now.
hot plasma.
Sorry, tappa, tappa, tappa.
No, you're fine.
All right, so are we gonna do some training montage or?
Yeah, I mean that's unless you guys were going to do something specific. Yeah, I mean just
Not
Yeah.
this.
get another.
Always try to power stunt once.
Yep, get another song. Whipping out. You're the best around.
Around.
Nothing gonna ever bring you down. I should look to see if they have good training montage songs, on Audio Jungle, where I get some of our bumper music. See if we have anything that's like
Yeah.
fitting for that.
You know, you might as well just reach out to Trey Parker and Matt Smith, or not Matt Smith, Matt whatever, and see if they're willing to actually let us use it. We need a montage.
Oh, gotcha. I was going to say, I didn't think they owned the rights to that song. But, so then I take it nobody's doing anything until the next day when you guys are going to be heading out?
He's
Let's see.
continue to train. And he's making sure that he's not remaining idle. He does call to a rep that he knows that can get a hold of his siblings, direct siblings.
Okay.
That way he can try and communicate with them to see if they're going to be in DC for lunch.
All right. Let me see. I'll give it a roll. Here we go. Okay. So you managed to get a hold of their PR person, who will pass down the message.
Thank you. Let them know we'll hit up the pizza place we used to like to eat at. They'll understand.
Sure thing, of course.
And then you'll call the person by their first name because that's someone he would know from the past.
Okay. No problem. So he'll pass the message down.
Then also in the meantime, Hyperion is going to make sure that he's got since we're going to go as civilians first, getting airplane tickets, making sure that that's been acquired so that the three of us will be able to get there in time for the 8 a.m. meeting.
Okay. How are you traveling?
Commercial?
Probably, yeah. Can I afford first class tickets? 3 of them?
Possibly. Why don't you give me a resource roll?
Oh boy.
Roll them
Okay.
resources.
More than single digits. Come on, baby. Well, it did more than that. 24. I don't think that's gonna be good enough.
Okay. So you are able to afford the first class seats. However, that will tap you out for some income for the time being. You're going to need to like get something pretty major if you are going to, or I should say not major, but you'll have to make another resource roll at a negative if you're going to attempt to make any big purchases.
I think Coach is fine.
Well,
If I went coach, would that be easier or
no, not at this point.
Oh,
okay? That's fine.
Yeah, it just
Okay.
had to do with like discretionary funds and whatnot. The discretionary funds were not so discretionary. You didn't quite have as much as you had hoped, but you're able to make it happen.
Okay. Good. All right. Excellent. And with that, I want to then see, because Brian doesn't need to sleep, especially since we have the information regarding how the teleportation, like interference field generators in the vein work,
Mm-hmm.
to see if it's possible to make like a handheld portable version of one of those that we can carry around.
Okay. So why don't you give me a reason check, which I don't know if you have. Yeah, you don't have the skills to add to that, but you do have reason. You have
Okay.
hyper invention though, right?
I do.
Okay, so that would help on for that helps on process time.
Okay. Then which role should I roll
Your reason to see
first
if you
or
can pull it
just?
off.
Okay. All right. Reason is amazing. 54 on amazing. Looks like that is a green result.
Okay, you absolutely could. It's going to be a little bulky and unwieldy. So you might want to refine that, but your first instance of looking at what's available and available technology and how you could do it, you're like, okay, yeah, I could probably put something together. It's not going to be pretty, and it's going to look like, you know, two straps connected to a gas generator. Sort of look, like a more unwieldy looking version of a Ghostbusters backpack.
Okay.
But it's possible, at least
Gotcha.
in your rough draft phase.
Then I'll continue working on that then, just to make sure we got a prototype so that the next version's better.
Okay. So if you want to just notate that somewhere.
Cool. Okay. Right. I think that's all I can think of for the moment. So yeah, I'm good.
Okay, here we are. Yeah, so basically what your hyper invention is allows you to do is you can basically take like if you had a bunch of you could basically you could MacGyver it. Like if you had a bunch of aluminum cans, you could configure it into do something like this, so long as you had some like wire, gum, and cans, and maybe a motherboard or something. You just figure out a way to like make it all fit together and work, sort of thing.
Okay. Gotcha. Cool. Right.
It also helps with understanding alien technology too, by the way.
Right. That will be very helpful.
Yes.
Hopefully. Cool. Okay. Yeah, so I'm just building that throughout the night.
Okay. So you are working on. You won't have it ready for anytime soon, but you can
Okay.
definitely start on that.
Gotcha.
All right. So then, if nobody's doing anything else, Brittany, I guess you return back to your apartment, and you actually have pizza with Michelle.
I'll go to her about the offer to consult as well.
Oh, okay. All right. So we can role play that. Hold on one second. Okay, so you come walking in, and you hear, "I'll be there for you, 'cause you're there for me too." And she's got, she's currently got the TV turned on, and she's got Friends, currently playing. She's got a bowl of popcorn sitting out. And as you come walking in, she's like, "Oh, I've already got the pizza ordered. Perfect timing."
Oh, good. Hey, I know this is going to sound a little bit strange, especially coming from the background that we have, but my colleague,
What did you do with my bone?
okay, the short version is, we're really interested in researching different types of deviant powers, and they would like to offer you a consultant position.
Huh?
Just basically like be available to maybe help experiment with your powers, and maybe we can help you learn something better about them. And
Wait, I'm not going to be a science experiment, am I?
not like that, not like that. It won't be harmful to you at all. Look, I'm working there. I have a lot of freedom to work on my own projects. I implicitly trust the people that I work with. I just thought if you're interested in a little extra cash,
Well, I
give it
mean,
some thought.
yeah, it seems a little weird that I gave you a bone and now you're trying to give me a job offer.
I think it's worth exploring.
Okay. Um, Tell them, sure, I'll meet with them. Like, do I have to? I don't have a typewriter. Do I have to type up a resume?
You know what? You can just call this number, and they'll work something out with you.
Okay. Was it like downtown or something, or?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Okay.
And if it makes you feel better, I would be happy to come with you whenever you need to show
Okay.
up.
I so don't have anything to wear for something like that.
We'll find you something.
Okay.
We'll, we'll work it out.
Okay. Uh, I don't know how to react.
Well, when's the pizza getting here?
Well, they said 30 minutes or less. And that was, she looks at her watch, 20 minutes ago.
Sweet. All right. Oh, and I've got a business trip in the morning, so I can't stay out too late.
You're not going to stay up for In Living Color?
Not this time.
Okay.
Can you record it for me?
She like looks at the TV and like there's like, nothing on top of it. She's like, we didn't get a VCR yet.
You know what? Just let me know what happens.
Yeah, okay.
I'll work on getting us a VCR.
Okay. I mean,
Wait. No, we have a VCR. It's a TV VCR combo.
oh, that's right. Yeah, no, that's right. I actually did say that. Wow,
You're making me really relive my childhood here.
Good job for writing that down. Okay, so I mean, she pops in a blank cassette tape, puts it on the what is it, SP setting, so it you get 6 hours out of the tape instead of just 2.
Nice.
So okay, yeah, so she does that. Pizza does manage to show up. And you guys enjoy some pizza and an episode of Friends.
Yay.
Outside of your call, were you doing anything else, Justin? I don't think so. Were you?
No.
Okay.
Continue to train because he doesn't have much more to do. He continues to try the power stunt, but it's not working, so he gives up after testing it against each and every wall.
Okay. So next morning rolls around. You guys presumably take a cab to the airport.
Yep.
I doubt flying in on my shoulders is a good thing.
Probably not. No.
No.
Dun, dun, dun.
Yes, we're taking commercial flights across the country.
And who knows how much they charge for, short-term airport parking.
Thank you for flying Angler Airlines.
So everybody gets on board the plane. Within a few moments, you are off into the air, and a few hours later, or several hours later, you are landing in DC. Which that would be pretty early in the morning to make that appointment.
Yeah.
Indeed.
So, yeah, you guys had to wake up pretty early. So there was no traffic getting to the airport. When you touch down in Washington, of course, there's the nice smog layer, because you're in a major, capital, industrial complex and whatnot. I'm not gonna make you guys role play or anything of that but you guys get a cab, and catch it into town. The museum you guys are going to is the Washington Museum of Science, and you're going to be speaking to the museum director, Sharon Wilson. When you get there, it is, the museum had just recently opened, its doors. It's, a nice classic looking, mostly concrete, marble, but, very statesman looking building, like many of the older buildings in this area give the appearance of, because they're all trying to match the grandeurs of the capital. The grandeur, I should say. Anyways, you enter the nice, clean floor, marble on the inside, several pictures. Most of it, of course, is, it's not a huge museum, but most of the museum is dedicated to science of various forms. The current exhibit they have right now is the science of Egypt. So it's just got, various tools and technologies like you would have found in ancient Egypt at the time. So it's just kind of giving a cultural tour sort of thing. But otherwise, it looks very much like a museum you would expect that has modern day tools, historic tools, displays of dedicated towards the advancement of computers and chipsets. They've got a setup dedicated to the outer space, for example. So it talks about some of it has some pictures of like the older computers that they used to launch the shuttlecraft and rockets and whatnot, and they've got some that look more like what they would find today. They've got a couple setups of like punch cards and how some of the old machines look. So I mean, that's kind of the feel of the whole place. But when you walk in and flag somebody down, for your appointment, a woman comes walking up. She's got long blonde hair, nice, business suit looking. And she says, hello, my name is Sharon. I'm the museum director here. How can I help all of you?
Hello, I'm Mark Annette with my associates Carmen, and Freddie. Pleasure. I reach out, shake her hand.
She shakes your hand back.
Coming from Quantum Unlimited in Strongford, Colorado, we heard information regarding a particular artifact you seem to have on display. We've taken an interest in it and are wondering if there'd be any way we can collaborate with you to understand its true nature.
Oh, what exhibit would that be?
Let's see. So then, as far as what Mainframe said, was it actually listed as something specific, like?
It's basically got like a alien technology of unknown origin.
Okay. It's in the display that you have that considers it alien technology of unknown origin.
Oh, right. The unidentified junk that we currently have. No, I completely get it. We've had several scientists in here over the months checking it out and looking it over, and nobody can really determine what exactly it is.
Can you tell us how you came by this artifact?
It was actually provided to us by a farmer in Maryland. Somebody had a small plot of land. They were doing some digging and came up, under it in the ground. We think it when we sent a group to help excavate it. They gave the appearance that perhaps there was an impact maybe many years ago that went undetected in some kind.
And when did the museum acquire it?
We acquired it last year.
Okay.
Well, sorry, take that back. They actually acquired it a couple of years ago. It's been on display here maybe about 6 years. People have come by and looked at it. United States government's looked at it, but nobody can really make anything of it, so they've kind of left it alone. They've done their spectral testing and whatnot, and there's nothing radioactive or adverse as far as we can tell.
Has it ever been active, or has it remained dormant?
Oh no, of course not. We have no way of determining how exactly it works.
Would you mind showing it to us?
She motions says right this way. It's a part of our aerospace exhibit.
Go ahead and follow her.
Okay. So it's there. The machine piece is roughly the size of a backpack radio. And it's got a couple, pieces to it. It's like, looks like it's torqued and whatnot. She says the only thing we can determine is that obviously there is a type of antenna attached to it, but we can't tell if that was for long or short range communications. At initial guess, we think it may have been a part of a console, or a part of a greater machine, perhaps something you would find on like the back of a Jeep or something, but we're not entirely sure.
Interesting. Would we be able to have any degree of physical access to it? We do possess specific techniques that are relatively unique in the scientific field when it comes to understanding new technology.
I don't see why not. But it's on display right now. I would take a little bit to get it in the back into a secured room.
Understandable.
If you could maybe come back in about 2 or 3 hours, we could probably have something arranged.
Excellent. Then
Well,
we'll return in 3 hours.
Okay.
Oh, that's wonderful. We were thinking about visiting some of the sites and even maybe taking in lunch. I know it's pretty early. Could we come back later on in the afternoon?
Of course. So she shakes your hands and she says, anytime after 11 a.m. at this point should be fine.
Excellent. Thank you, Ms. Wilson. All right. So as we're walking away, I turn to Freddie. Are you going to meet up with your siblings soon?
That's the intention. Get to spend a little time with them. I haven't seen them since this all started, and it'll be nice to
Connect.
no, that's not the right word. It'll be nice to sit down and have a conversation with them.
Understood.
Are you going to tell them about your current work?
Oh, they know what I do. They may still be in the Navy, but they ain't stupid.
That's good to hear.
There's very few people who possess the unique combination of abilities. And that's to put it nicely.
I hope your conversation with them goes well. And I take it we'll meet you back here in a few hours.
You guys could come along if you wanted to, too. Unless y'all want to hit up all the tourist spots. See a giant phallic symbol. See another symbol of a man's strength by sitting down on a marble throne for the rest of his life. There's things to see in DC.
Well, I thought I might just breeze through the museums here. But I wouldn't. I mean, if we wouldn't be intruding, I wouldn't mind meeting your siblings too.
Oh yeah, they would probably like to meet you. Just they're not as subtle as I am. That's assuming that they could make it into town. We don't always have the option of meeting up the way we want to.
And if you'll have us, I'd be willing to join.
Excellent.
It's not like I'm not publicly working for you right now either.
True. Lead the way, Freddie.
He'll actually take them around to some of the tourist spots.
Okay.
A couple of the hole in the walls, places that a lot of people don't see. And then around lunchtime, noonish, he'll take them over to a pizza place. And it doesn't matter. I don't know DC well enough to know their local pizza scene.
That's fine. It is a Chicago-style pizza joint. It's called Gotta Grub.
Deep, sir. That's deep.
And it's, and it's got, a sign on there, pizza by the slice sort of thing. And they've got a display up there that shows, some pizzas that have recently been cooked. There's a part of the store where you can just walk up, hand cash, and walk back out with like a slice sort of thing for the people on the go. And there is a section on the inside where people can go and sit down. On the inside, they have like a jukebox, and it plays all of the Italian greatest hits.
When the moon hits your eye like a big pizza pie.
That's amore. Hey mambo Italiano. It's got the mob's greatest hits, basically. So they play that all day, every day. Frankie is it has never died here. But yeah, and it's hopping. Like they are doing a brisk bit of business, especially around this time frame when it's lunch. So there's a lot of people coming and going around this area.
He'll actually take a seat where he would normally sit at,
So a booth.
and yeah, a booth where he can see the exits and entrances.
Sure.
And for anyone who actually doesn't know a person in the military, that's actually something we do a lot of. And I hate it when my wife takes the seat that faces the doors to the building. Sorry.
So you guys go in there. You find a relative spot. There's a booth like right at the L junction that you can see the front door and the people kind of coming in and out. And they hand out menus real quickly and take drink orders that you might have. And then of course they quickly pass out some silverware as you guys are waiting. And within a few moments you hear some gasping on the outside, like, oh my gosh. And then you see what appears to be a stream of electricity striking down on the ground out in front of the store. And you end up seeing you see two people in costume. One lady in a kind of a two-toned blue sort of look, kind of slender ish, full kind of face mask, and you can hear people yelling, "Oh my God, it's Current and Deep Sea!" And then and basically she is holding on to the lightning bolt, much like Lightning from Big Trouble in Little China. Kind of holds on to lightning and comes down, and she's holding on to a much larger and wider individual who is in kind of a mottled two-tone kind of gray looking but similar costume, and they're like waving to the people as they're walking, and it's like, "No, excuse us, we're here for an important business meeting," but they're still getting kind of mobbed for for autographs and whatnot.
Subtle, huh?
Subtle. I told you.
You did.
He'll actually stick his hand up so they can see him.
And that was you before this as well?
Yes.
Do you miss it?
And then they come walking in, and of course they're getting a lot of a lot of the staff is waving to them or giving them high fives as they come walking in, sort of thing. They are being treated like they are hometown heroes.
He'll get up and he'll hug both of them.
And so they look, and they're just like, "Oh," Deep Sea looks at you, and he kind of like pats on your stomach, and he says, "What's this?"
Being friendly for the press.
And
Come, sit down with us.
And he says, "Okay." He gives you a hug, and he says, "I have to get around this little bump you've got in the front, but all right."
A pleasure as always.
And they nod, and they said, "Oh, you've brought your friends."
Something more than that. Did you get my message about a long story?
No, we got a message about a PR thing that you were apparently wanting to meet, I guess. Is this another stunt for you to drum up interest in your oceanography?
What he'll do,
the government can't be tied to that, right?
And what he'll do is he'll actually.
By the way, this is Deep Sea speaking. Current is just kind of smiling, waving, and deflecting some of the people who keep coming by and wanting autographs.
He'll actually open up telepathy with them.
Okay.
To put it mildly, the one and he'll kind of image Lightbringer.
Okay.
Is a half sister. Image Hyperion is a robot constructed by Electrum, who
Okay.
could be considered our half brother. And he smiles and he's like, oh no, it's not about that at all.
And so
I
he
just-
and so he
I
just
haven't seen
goes,
you guys in such a long time.
interesting. He says, Current, why don't you pop a squat and sit down? Sounds like we've got a lot to discuss. And she's like, oh, thank you. And she gets like a salute from somebody, you know, she salutes them back, sort of thing. And it's like, thank you for your service. You are welcome, citizen.
He'll also say they don't know that I've told you this yet either.
So
And
they sit down.
telepathy.
Yeah, no, I understand. And so I mean, since you're, you know, in his head, and he says, so you chose the popular restaurant to bring everybody to have this meeting. You know, there's no like back room here, right?
I know this is good for all of us, and you know it is. We can have a private chat later. It was to get you two into town.
Okay. And so he just turns and, you know, and he puts on the smile and he says, so what do your friends do since they're not a part of your oceanography thing?
I'll let them introduce themselves. And he'll point at Lightbringer first.
Okay.
Haha, I'm defying gender roles.
My name's Carmen, and I work in applied physics.
I'm Mark Annette, a founder and president of Quantum Unlimited, Strongford, Colorado.
And you know, Current at that point is like, oh, well, you're kind of far inland there, little brother. Interesting.
He had some interest in deep sea oceanography.
In Colorado.
Yes, I know it's out of my element.
Okay. Well, fair enough. And of course, the waitress, you know, comes around and she's like, I already know what you two want. And they just kind of give her a thumbs up. And she's like, can I get any of you anything? We have a 2-for-1 special right now on slices if you're not quite so hungry, or if you're like these two over here, and they they want the whole pizza. Not that I'm suggesting anything. And the waitress looks specifically at Brittany's character, is like, but you look perfect, honey.
I'll do the I'll do a 2-slice of whatever is most popular in DC.
Okay. So then you just want the typical deep dish pepperoni?
That'll work.
Okay. And she says, how about you, sweetheart?
Nothing for me, thank you.
So you're just going to stick with the water?
Yes.
Okay.
It has been a while since I've been here, hasn't it? A whole Supreme, please.
And she says, oh, big eater. All right. So we've got the meat lovers. We've got, and she says, we've got the run it through the garden. And, you know, Current's like out, you know, kind of, you know, pointing to her sort of thing. And then we've got your Supreme over there, and then 2 slices for the little lady. All right, so we'll be right back. And they go in the back to go get their get the food going.
And he'll keep the idle chit chat going along, explaining some of the stuff. He'll mention the documentary he shot about the river in Strongford.
Mm-hmm.
He'll even mention how crazy it was what happened in Strongford about the city getting locked down and those SPBs getting the SPB villain criminals is the word he'll use, getting caught and arrested finally by Aegis.
And they're like, oh, they just kind of do like one of those numbers.
They understand.
no, that I mean, it's more along the lines of they heard you, but they're not totally engaged. So it's the obligatory
You three have the patience for all of this publicity.
She says, "Oh, it's quite all right. We're happy to do our job." And then, like right then, he gets poked in the back, and he like turns around real quick. He had kind of a stern look on his face, and then he sees it's a little kid, and he says, "Can I have your autograph, Mr. Deep Sea?" And he says, "Of course, kid, of course. Who am I making this out to be? Or out to?" And he says, "It's Billy." He says, "All right, Billy, to my best friend, Billy." Does a big, like looping signature sort of thing, and the kid, gets a big smile on his face.
So, how long have you two been in superhero work?
We've been doing this now for what? They kind of look at each other. What, 5 years ish or so?
Give or take.
Kind of went
Are
from the
you,
military into, from the service to the service.
do you act independently, or are you part of a larger organization like the Aegis Foundation?
Oh, no, 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 no. We work specifically for Uncle Sam.
Hmm.
So what is it exactly that Quantum Unlimited does? Is that like some sort of science fiction fair? Is it like movies or?
Previously, we were an advanced technology consultancy service,
Oh,
helping other advanced firms finish their technology. We have just recently changed our model, and we are beginning to develop our own technology.
oh, so you must have our little brother here on environmental detail, and then
And
current goes, AKA toilet scrubber.
on the contrary, he is a valued member of my staff and employees, as is everybody. He's actually specialized in marine sciences in case of any possible disasters that would happen either inland or out in sea.
Oh, and then Deep Sea looks at him and he says, "Oh, so you're his cabana boy? You scrubbing his pool?
Yeah, only when there's fish in there.
Oh, the aquariums. Okay, that makes sense. That makes sense."
He'll keep the chit chat going.
Mm.
So the
Carter
food.
is mostly just enjoying watching the interplay and observing.
Okay. So the food comes down. So they serve up the food, and these two inhale their deep dish pizza.
So they not only breathe underwater, they also breathe pizza.
Well, breathe food, yeah, pretty much. They breathe the calories.
Yeah.
Pretty
Haha,
much.
see,
It
it's
pretty
not
much.
just me who eats like this, and he
It's
does the same thing.
it's very similar to the scene from Major Payne, when he sits down for dinner for the night.
Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna be there with my knife and fork, cutting a bite of pizza, cutting another bite.
Yeah. So I mean, Deep Sea like looks up at you as you're doing that. He's like, "Ain't you hungry?"
Not as hungry as you, apparently.
Apparently. So once the food and everything has been finished and whatnot, they're just like, well, it's been good meeting both of you. We have to get back to work. We're on a very short break at this point, but we enjoyed meeting all of you. And she looks specifically at angler and ruffles his hair. And she says, "And don't you be a stranger no more, will you?"
He'll smile. And he will give them telepathically the secure landline and ask them to call him back tomorrow.
Okay. I mean, they obviously get the message, and they turn and they wave to, to everybody there, and they're just like, she waves a goodbye sort of thing, and as she strikes up, another streak of electricity into the air, Deep Sea turns to everybody real sternly and looks at them and he says, "Remember, wherever you go, that's where you are." And they kind of snicker and they laugh and they wave, and then they eventually go up into the air as he's holding on to her, and they disappear into the sky.
I turn to Freddy. Like, Freddy, is there a reason why they are so rude to you?
We're siblings.
So are we, but I don't feel the need to be rude to you.
It's a little bit different when you grow up together. Comparatively, I am the runt of the litter, you could say. However, whereas they very much adore the limelight that they're in, I'm not super crazy for it. I like to be able to walk the streets without everyone stopping me every 5 minutes and wanting an autograph. Not that there's anything wrong with that.
Is there a reason why that would bother you?
Just not what I'm looking for in my life. I like to do good things for good things reasons.
I can certainly see some pros and cons to both sides.
We can talk a little bit more about it on the way home, or when we get back. There's more to it than what is shown public.
Understood.
And as he leaves, he'll pay for everything and give the
Oh no, it was already paid for.
Oh, damn it, they beat me to it. He'll still pull out his wallet and leave a generous tip.
Okay. Well, no server's going to say no to that.
All right.
So then at that point, you head back to the museum?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, it's our time.
Sure. So you end up heading back. You can, at this point, when you guys are heading out now, you can actually, you actually see somebody out front of the restaurant with a camera and a microphone, doing one of those quick entertainment tonight, and you'll never guess who just stopped by this restaurant, to make a visit to their local eatery. It was Deep Sea and Current of the United States government, and doing kind of like a quick expose sort of thing, on the spot as you guys are exiting.
Yeah, he pays them no mind. Just walks right by.
And within, maybe 10-15 minutes, based on traffic, you end up getting back to the museum across town. It's a little bit later in the day. You're there a little bit later than you anticipated, but you come back in, and she walks you into the back at this point, where they have basically what was on the display laying out on a clean table. And she says, "Well, this is it."
Excellent. Thank you.
We greatly appreciate this.
Oh no, of course. If I'm more than happy to help, especially if you can help answer just what exactly this is. I mean, we would love to be able to update the exhibit and maybe add to it if possible.
Certainly.
We'll let you know when our analysis is complete. So get to work at looking at it and see what it can make of it and how it works and if it can be turned on or whatever.
Okay. So go ahead and roll your hyper intelligence.
Also like to investigate.
So you are attempting to add to his roll then? Because remember, these combine.
Yeah,
The way this works.
sure.
Okay.
I'm happy to add to that.
What do you have skill wise?
For which?
Or sorry, talents.
Oh, talents. I have energy and particle physics, acoustics. I don't see anything else that would be relevant.
Okay. What is your reason?
Amazing.
Amazing. What is your hyper intelligence?
Mine.
No, Dale's.
Remarkable. Oh,
Oh yeah, hyper invention is at incredible.
Incredible. Okay. So then. Okay. So then Brittany would actually have to make the roll, but you're the one analyzing it.
Okay.
75
Ooh.
on amazing.
Okay, that is going to put you at. Okay, so basically, so you didn't unfortunately get a column shift bump because you guys are too far apart. But when basically what you do, Mark, is you analyze, you look at everything and analyze it, and Brittany is able to kind of break it down initially for you, or I should say, Carmen is able to break it down for you, like, okay, well, you see this, and she's like, okay, well, that's probably this. You see this, okay, well, that's probably this. Okay, I don't know what that is, but you're kind of making heads or tails of it. Between the two of you, it doesn't look like it's salvageable. Like you wouldn't be able to turn it on, but you can recreate it.
Can we confirm if like what exactly it is, what its purpose is?
100%. It's actually it is a long distance communicator. And true to form, it looks like it probably did belong in somebody's console or some point. So this may have been, a ship that crashed, or perhaps even a like an escape pod of some kind.
Okay.
And this was
Gotcha.
part of the wreckage.
Would we be able to tell like how far its communications range is?
Yes. It is the communication range itself could go up. It could go up into the stratosphere. So you could, if you connected it to the right software, you could connect to a satellite network with it. So it would work like a sat relay, enabling you to communicate anywhere on the globe.
Excellent.
I'm gonna kind of start diagramming this.
Yeah, you already were.
Okay.
That I assume that's kind of like basic. That's how because he would relay it, and you would you're kind of sketching out. So you guys are working on it together to get that a rough diagram based on what you're seeing, like based on the damage and whatnot. Too, you're like, okay, well, this probably went here or something went there, and kind of basically making what you think would have made it whole. Hope, come on, baby, hop down.
Cats, right?
Yeah.
Yep, she's wanting to get up here. Something fierce. I know.
Didn't mainframe say that we needed to bring it back to the lab to really get a read on it?
That could have been a possibility. However,
Go on.
I do believe that with the information we have, I can work on recreating this device. It should mimic perfectly what this does. Being able to have a distant communication ability that allow us to connect to satellites in orbit and have a effectively unlimited distance anywhere on the globe.
With no worry about available materials.
With that, Jerome, do I know like if we'd have the materials available to
Oh,
create
100%.
this doodad?
Oh yeah,
Okay.
So it's not like alien materials,
it is alien material. Yes.
but it's something that we could
Mm-hmm.
still recreate.
Yeah, it is something that the layperson could not. Like, you couldn't even get like a satellite technician to look at this and go, "Oh, okay, yeah, I can put it." No, it's only because you guys are that smart that you could go, "Okay, I know exactly how to rework this and how to rewire this using what we have." Basically, you're kind of Doc Browning it, the time machine.
Cool.
We can use this with earthly materials. That should be possible.
It would likely be a little bit bigger, but yes, you could 100% do that with what you have.
Then maybe we wouldn't even need to petition the museum to uh, rent it out to us.
While they're
I
doing
agree.
this, he's going and he's grabbing, paying for a handheld camera,
Okay.
and he's
Like one of
taking a
those
bunch of
disposable
pictures
ones?
of it. Mm-hmm. I know that Hyperion probably has an eidetic memory, but the person who's in charge here probably doesn't think that it would be unusual to take pictures of a private exhibit like this.
Sure. Yep.
They probably would think we were strange for not taking pictures. So good call.
Can't believe I left my camera back in Colorado.
Yeah, you got one of those little disposable ones.
Mm-hmm.
Kodak disposable.
He's not just taking pictures of the device. He's also taking pictures around the building as well. So whenever he's doing it, he's holding it back a little bit. He's getting it in frame, but he's also trying to make sure he gets corners of the room. And anyone who might be looking their way at any given moment.
Okay.
Is there any like copy machine nearby so that like the information we were able to glean from this we can like share with the scientists at the museum?
Oh, sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
Photocopiers are pretty common.
Yeah, cool. Okay. Yeah, I go ahead and get that done, collate it real quick so it's easy for them to look through once we're done here.
Well, she looks at that and she says, "Oh, well, thank you. I had no idea you had such an understanding of this technology."
Understanding advanced frameworks, technology such as this is somewhat of our specialty. In fact, if you needed any other assistance, needed to collaborate, don't hesitate to reach out. And I hand her a Quantum Unlimited business card.
Okay. She says, "Well, sure. Well, thank you. Yeah, I'd be happy to if we, have the capacity, but I appreciate this breakdown."
Since we're here, do you happen to have any other pieces of technology that you have not been able to identify, understand?
Oh no, nothing like that. Nothing. This was the one piece of that exhibit.
Excellent. Well, we thank you for your time and the opportunity to study the artifact.
No, thank you. We really appreciate this.
All right. We'll start heading out.
Okay.
He'll shake her hand, call her by name,
Okay.
tell her that it was really appreciative that they gave us such access to it. He knows that not a lot of people get this level of access.
No, we sincerely appreciate it. Thank you all for coming out.
See you next.
And he will keep the actual disposable camera. He actually wants to get the stuff developed.
Sure, no problem.
So then call in a cab. Do our tickets like for the round trip flight, would it be like tonight or tomorrow, or do we have to like wait longer for that?
No, we assume that you would be heading out like
A day trip.
yeah.
Okay. Right, then
Get
yeah.
back to the vein.
Yeah, and guys fly all the way back to Colorado. By the time you get back, at this point, it is late night.
It's been a long day.
Those two are going to be giving us a call tomorrow, if they decide to do it. Very much their publicity hound. It makes them look better. There's a lot more to it, but that's the short story.
Did you have any particular goals with regard to your brother and sister?
I'm going to see if they know anything more about Levada.
Latvia?
Yep. And they do have the number to the secure line.
Understood.
That way we can speak freely. The reason I wanted to meet them there is because it's good for their publicity. They're seen out eating with folks who are not locals, which gives them a higher rating within the hero society that they live within.
I wonder, does the public remember that there was a third?
Not always.
I was surprised that that you weren't identified while we were there.
It happens. Those two remain in the public eye. I haven't. When we had our parting, I told them I had no interest in doing this long term and that I had other interests like saving things. They are not all smiles and sunshine. They do a lot more than their public image would allow you to see. And I'm going to leave it there.
Special ops.
Something like that. But
They are agents of the government. It makes sense.
I'm going to see if I can blow a hole in the wall tonight. And he will just walk away from the conversation and he will find a random spot and he will start carving a hole in fire.
In the
Because he
vein?
was not expecting them to be that antagonistic with them.
In the vein?
Yeah. Just somewhere that's...
Or in the danger room?
Danger room works too.
Okay.
Somewhere where he's alone and he can just release himself.
Gotcha. So you can release yourself plenty in the in your danger room. Blowing up a wall, you guys hear the the plasma hitting the sides as the doors seal behind him.
So then I start entering information that we got when we were analyzing the thing, providing that to mainframe so that he can help to organize it rapidly and get to work then with Carmen if she's still like awake enough to
I was gonna say, I would give you all of my notes and then go to bed.
all right. We'll see you in the morning.
Hey,
Look
mainframe.
forward to seeing what you come up with overnight.
Yes,
You'll actually-
syntax error.
What's the highest level this program goes up to?
Designate 10.
Let's see if I can handle level 5.
Adjusting. Threat level 5.
And he's going to stand there and just unleash the heat
Okay.
to see how much output he can do at the moment.
Okay, go ahead.
That is going to be a 75.
Okay, so you
That
start blasting the wall, and not only do the cannons from the roof come down and open up on you, but robotic arms come out and start knocking you about
it's all right.
Because-
This is what he was looking for.
because you were standing there blasting the wall, and you just so it interpreted the fact that you wanted threat level 5 as the danger room setting. So it's throwing
Yeah.
it's throwing obstacles at you at the same time.
Yeah, and he's not like throwing things. He's just Gokuing it right there in the center of the room.
Okay.
Seeing if any of this stuff will just stop working at some point. He reckons it won't because there's still 5 more levels.
Yeah. So you're doing your rocket power then, if that's the case.
No, he just has straight heat emission too.
Oh, so you're just doing your heat emission?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So yeah, it's gonna get super hot in there, but yeah, if that's the case, you do get beat down.
But when it's all done, he just leans up against the wall and falls asleep.
Okay.
He doesn't go and take a shower once he's beaten up thoroughly.
Alrighty.
Remember the story I wrote that I sent to you
I think so.
about his last mission? That's what's going on in his head.
Gotcha.
So while my brother is getting his butt whooped, trying to recreate the Eldarian communicator.
Okay. So at this point, you are attempting to construct. You are attempting to. Well, it's not. Well, I mean, it is still new technology. You can definitely So we're gonna need a yellow result. For you to put it together with parts that you have on site.
Okay. And would I be rolling my hyper invention for this?
Hyper invention, yes.
Okay. Do any talents like computers, mechanical engineering, computer engineering, or quantum physics
Computer
help with
engineering.
that?
Computer
Okay, cool.
engineering. So that would bump you a column for that.
Nice. Okay. So puts me at amazing. We do want this to be made. So I need a yellow result, eh? I'll go ahead and spend the 55 karma so that if I get at least a 1, it's going to be yellow. Let's see if I can get it to red.
It's costly, but I've done that too myself.
Yeah.
And sometimes you're just like, nah, I just don't want to fail.
Right. Okay. Good thing I did that. Yeah. So rolled a 27. So 55, 27, that's 82. And yeah, it's still yellow. Okay.
Okay. So you are in the process of putting that all together with everything that you have. Like, you've got stuff spread out all over the table. You've got your tools, and you are just going away. Carmen, did you go home or did you crash here?
I crashed here.
Oh, okay. Okay. So we will go ahead and stop there for tonight. When you wake up in the morning, there is like a monster mess all around the table where Hyperion has been working all night. And you have put together what you think is going to be a working model for this device. All right, so I hope you guys had fun. I had fun.
Yeah.
Thank you guys for those of you who tuned in and will watch on the uploaded stream later on. Our next game would be April 30th.
Oh my gosh, already?
I know. that sound good?
Let me double
Looks
check.
good.
Yeah, it'd be
Good
fun.
with me.
Alrighty, and Shelly said, "Good night, guys."
Good night.
Good night, Shelly.
All right, so we're gonna go ahead and head on out, and thank you guys all for tuning in. Bye.
Bye bye.
Good night, everyone.